introduce ourselves now?
Wyatt.
Oh my god. There we fucking go. Alright, folks, I am your only host for tonight, Amadeus Kioma. It is unfortunately a solo endeavor. NoCam has quit. He has resigned. He has dropped out of the podcast. He's too much of a chicken shit to stand here and debate me on some of the issues we were going to talk about tonight. So, it's, yeah, podcast is changing. It's just me. So, to all fucking two of you, I'm sure this is huge news.
I'm Jim Bag
I
Bob.
lied. There's another person with me. NoCam quit because my VP, Jim Bag Bob, scared him off as well.
All right, this is no cam. All right, I'm unscarable. Also, we do this every week. You know that like we don't say anything until after the little fucking pop tab. All right.
What?
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
What do you mean what?
Whatever. All right. My brain is elsewhere. I'm focused on our debate.
All right.
Yeah. I lied, as someone of my career would do. NoCam didn't drop out. He's here with us today in good health, physically at least. Jim Bag. Yeah, that's his mental health. Jim Bag Bob is obviously here with us, and she's here. And then obviously, like
Her
I
mental
already
health
said,
is
her mental health is
spending your money at Texas Roadhouse.
yeah. Anytime I try to talk to her about her mental health, it's just that's what I get met with. Yeah. You're making liquor? Are you making a mixed drink?
Molly,
taking
you're
a sip.
drunk.
Yeah, she's gonna be drunk. She's 21. She can drink now. I mean, she'll tell.
She
She'll
could
talk
she
to
could
you.
have always drank. It's just it was a
you need to-
mental
Yeah, mental block.
yeah.
No, you need to. If you're not 21, your body's cells don't activate. They don't open up to receive the alcohol. It's a time limit thing. If you try and drink before you're 21, your body just pisses it out straight away, like no effect. The government did a pretty good job with re-engineering us, honestly.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard about I mean, this is off topic but on topic. Stuff like CRISPR, like manipulating.
Yes, I heard about it like years ago when it like was a big thing.
It's still kind of a big thing.
I mean, it was a bigger thing back then because it was like a breakthrough, and I think what was it the got one of the what's that big monkey? I don't know.
Curious George.
Big monkey like Godzilla size, King Kong. I think there was a Kong movie or something. God damn, I'd have forced it out of myself. That had the Rock in it. Kong.
Oh, Rampage.
And that yeah, Rampage. That's what it was. And yeah, the whole reason that it's a big ass gorilla is because he's the Rock and he works out a lot.
Yeah.
All right, seriously.
What?
Seriously, stop.
What?
Stop.
Seriously?
That's offensive. Seriously.
Seriously? What am I fucking doing that's offensive?
All right. All right, yeah, but the reason why it was a big gorilla is because of CRISPR. I think that was like the big part of the film.
Okay. So because of Rampage, CRISPR was brought into the public mainstream. Thank you, Dwayne Johnson, for introducing us normies into advanced medical shit. I can feel the liquor. That's actually mixed really well. You're good at that. What the fuck? That didn't sound like a normal sound effect. No, I think I don't know if we're gonna see like active uses of CRISPR on a widespread scale. I know there's a lot of like don't play God talk with it.
I don't think we will. I think it's like way more nerfed than we actually thought it was.
I kind of want to look up like how far they got with it, because like the end goal of that, like perfect human genome manipulation, you can literally guarantee that your child will be fucking Usain Bolt and Isaac Newton in one person.
You know what you're doing is you're like literally trying to you're speaking for the investors right now. They're getting all wet,
Yeah,
thinking about, I should invest in this.
I should invest in
It's gonna be a big thing. I don't know. I think it's gonna be like midstream, not mainstream.
I mean, when it gets there, and that's what humans do.
If it
right?
gets there.
It will get there. We tinker and tinker and build and improve until we're on the fucking moon.
I mean, the world could end tomorrow. We don't know, right?
Well, no one likes to think like that. I used to think like that when I was a kid, and even as a 12-year-old kid, the amount of just random fucking anxiety I would have about like, what if the sun just exploded and I have 7 more minutes to live?
Well, that one is like out of nowhere, right? You got to be realistic. What if like there's a dead man switch in one of Russia's nukes, and we just have a nuclear war tomorrow?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, no, that won't happen either. If it does, I'll survive, and you can tell if you survive. You can tell me I told you so. When we
Well,
meet
I'm
again.
the anchor beam for this universe, so I
That's
mean,
my.
I'm literally like the person that's keeping this universe here. If I die, then the universe ceases to exist.
That's crazy how there's 2 people that fulfill that function. I think that's a bit weird. It feels like it's just a job for one person.
You think you're the anchor beam?
Um,
Correct again.
yeah, I do. I do think I'm the anchor beam to all of existence. It feels honorable. I feel righteous. Um, that's also like another boring but sometimes fun train of thought is like, what if you are the only person and the only person that's like actually alive in the current reality, but there's a fuck ton of people just watching you. Like you're the experiment. They get to see everything you do. I gotta imagine it gets so fucking boring. There's no fucking way. At least my life. Like I do some exciting things every now and then, but like
Hey, I'm texting the guest right now, Molly. Instead of irradiating your liver with liquor, uh, you chime in.
she's looking for clothes right now.
Right.
I'm chilly.
She's chilling.
I'm literally right here still. So
Yeah, it's only like 98 degrees outside, and she's chilly.
it is really chilly.
Yeah, that's why I like it chilly because it's 98 degrees outside.
Okay, buddy. I have very little clothes on. I mean, I have like a crop tank top and shorts.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, we're back. It's been a pretty interesting, uninteresting week for me.
What do you mean we're back? We had a podcast last week.
Yeah, and we're back with a new one.
All right.
Yeah, it's a common English expression. Maybe if English was your first language, you'd understand.
That means that you're insulting someone who's native to another language, which makes you the non-woke piece of shit conservative fuck.
I can speak 3 languages fluently: English, Japanese, and German.
What's Japanese?
I can't say a Japanese word without that being immediately racist.
What is Japanese?
It's a ethnicity.
Mm?
That's what it means to be Japanese, right? It means you belong to the nation of Japan. What does it mean to be American?
It's a concept, it's an idea. Everything else is an ethnicity.
So what is
Did you know we're the only ones who doesn't lower their flag at the Olympic ceremony? Like, we are literally the main characters of the world.
Wait, so everyone is just wait. Okay, so why did they lower the flag in the first place? Just to, like take it off and move on, or
It's like a ceremony thing. The Olympics are going on right now. I suppose we could talk about that. They don't dip the flag at the opening ceremony.
that's interesting and that's cool. All right, I like the country as an idea. I just don't like the government sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like, I think it all derived from, at one point, some actual Giga Chad from 1908. Yeah, because he literally is. He's Captain Giga Chad. He's at the Olympics. Team USA's flag bearer, Ralph Rose. refused to dip the American colors when he passed Britain King Edward the Seventh, having allegedly declared, "This flag dips to no earthly king."
Hell yeah.
It's fucking.
That's good.
I wish he said that in the video. I'd clip that. Can you clip that, chat?
Let me clip this chat. Yeah. That's good. I think are compensating. Okay, well, I don't like using that word. I mean, we compensate for weak allies, so. Uh,
Yeah.
I think there's this idea like patriotism, we'll call it. This is a very patriotic country. Every country is patriotic, but obviously we live in America, so we feel American patriotism a lot. I think there's like a train of thought that because this country is so new in comparison to almost literally any other country that has a massive history book of history, that we're very outspoken. You know, we're the new kid on the block, and we have to prove ourselves.
We're new kid on the block.
I mean, yeah, we basically are. Our country has been around for less than 400 years. I mean,
Well-
aside from countries that gained independence and countries that like actually matter on a global scale, you know, we're the new ones.
We're younger than 300 years. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, when is our 300th anniversary? That would be 2076?
Yep.
I'll be alive for I might be alive for that.
You stop smoking so much, man.
I'll live to be alive in the year
You know,
2077. And that's
you know
in
how
December.
patriotic I am? I'm leaving. Well, I'm. The 2026 thing. It's 250th anniversary of the.
Yeah, Project 2026.
Yeah, that's that's our own project.
Yeah.
We're ahead of the game, all right.
And we're thinking of the future. What are your thoughts on American patriotism? Do you feel like any sense of patriotism for this country? Do you enjoy it? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, sometimes I do. Like, they really know how to manufacture it. And
What are the times when you feel it? Like, what gets you, damn, I'm proud to call myself an American?
something like that. Just being the main character of the world. Strongest military, strongest economy. The economy of Texas by itself is just fucking insane. Compared to some other European countries.
Yeah.
Like, compare Texas to Romania, and like,
Texas
it's
demolished.
it's nothing. I mean, it's just superiority complex. That we have. It just kind of tickles that. But I mean, everything else. I mean, literally, like legal corruption. Like lobbying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just like
we'll talk
late
about
stage capitalism. But
Yeah, there was an interesting video I watched about lobbying and shit. So, Congress or senators, they try and get bills passed through because that's their fucking job. And sometimes there's a bill that everyone on one party, like a Democrat or a Republican party, they pretty much all agree on it, except for one fucking person who, say, the Democrats are trying to get a bill passed through, and all the Democrats are on board except for one who votes Republican this time, thus ensuring the bill never gets passed. Like a villain of the week type thing, except it's in politics. Um, there was a video basically saying that that person, they get paid money to play the villain of the week. I mean, even if you get fired, even if people fucking hate you, it's a revolving door at a politics career. You can go work for companies that you used to regulate and that you know, passed legislation that favors them, so they appreciate you. You'll always have a place with us.
always have a place with who?
With the people that you supported by striking down or enacting certain pieces of legislation. So if you pass a bill for, let's just say you bring up something trying to repeal environmental protections for X, Y, and Z companies, you get the bill passed through. People fucking hate you. They vote you out. But because you did, those X, Y, and Z companies a solid, yeah, be on our fucking board of directors, man. You did us a good. You did us a goody good.
I
It's
mean,
hard.
yeah.
Like, once you're done being a senator, what the fuck do you do? Do you go back to McDonald's? Work at fucking
Yeah,
Walmart?
it is. It's really good for the people who are like up there. But like, what about
Yeah.
the little guys? There's no safety net.
No.
We actively like see homeless people as enemies.
Yeah, they just need to get out of my sight. Figure out their shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there was the Supreme Court's been on a fucking streak this year of doing some interesting shit, but making it legal for cities to, I think, just like completely remove homeless people from where they are, wherever it is.
Interesting.
It's just not the solution. It's it's like instead of using fucking proper drywalling techniques, you just put a bunch of toothpaste. It's a bad metaphor, but it's not a solution. All right, it's just a band-aid on the Titanic. It's flex tape on the Titanic. It's not gonna fucking.
Well, I mean, you don't know that. They didn't have flex tape on the Titanic.
Yeah, fine. Sorry, you get the fucking metaphor. It's not a solution. It doesn't. We've been trying. It's just like with crime or the war on drugs.
Yeah.
We've been trying so hard. This very narrow. Just ban it. Just make it illegal, and then people won't do it. But that doesn't fucking work, all right? And it seems like it's taking forever for people to get the message that maybe we got to try a different approach. Maybe criminalizing homelessness doesn't really solve homelessness. It just makes it easier to sweep under the rug when it becomes a problem.
I mean, it sucks, but at least we have the chance to give those idiots a voice, right? Because all of us have a voice in America.
Not really.
Do we?
I mean, we do, but we don't.
No, I'm lying through my teeth. Kinda. I mean, yeah, I mean, local elections. Yeah.
Local is...
That really does make a difference.
Yeah,
I mean, at least your community. If you want your, like, bridge fixed in your town, vote for a new, like, fucking governor or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's...
The president's not gonna do that. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
They're doing
get
other
better.
shit. Yeah.
I need to get better. I'm voting this presidential election for damn sure, but I need to get better at voting local level as well as state governor, state senator, and actually pay attention.
Are you voting for Kamala? It's a femininomenon.
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 No matter who. Vote blue no matter who.
That's so fucking... It's such a cultist.
It is.
Both sides are cult, alright? I just think it's stupid. The reason why we do produce so much idiots is because you have that, like, my team, your team, like, kind of dynamic. But on the other end, kind of meet in the middle here, isn't it, like, kind of nice? We can be critical about our government with how small we are.
That's the baseline, all right?
I mean, yeah.
That's the minimum. The fact that we can be critical of
Yeah, we have bare minimum, at least, right?
Oh, I'm so thankful for the bare minimum. I'm so thankful.
I'm so glad that I'm not going to get publicly executed for talking ill of my local government.
Yeah, it makes me so proud to be an American. No, as for your question, I am not voting for Kamala Harris. Skamala Harris.
Skamala Harris.
Yes, Kamala Harris. I don't... between the two, I think on, like, foreign policy issues, I'd probably side more with Trump than Kamala Harris. When it comes to at-home issues, I feel like there's more things that I would more than likely agree with Kamala on, possibly. I need a fucking bulletin point, like, this is their direct quote, this is Trump's direct quote, but there's also probably a lot of things I would disagree with her on. I'm not voting for her. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for the independent candidate that I would like to see in the White House. And the thing that pisses me off about voting independent is I know that it's like a 98% chance probability in my head that he does not win.
I feel like for him when it was Trump and Biden, but now that Biden stepped down and it's Kamala Harris, I feel like a lot of people have decided to vote Kamala.
That's so stupid. Why? Because she's a woman?
Well, I know a big
because
issue
she's become a meme.
that I know a big turning point for a lot of people, and I don't really blame them for it. Is they just want someone that's not fucking old.
Yeah,
Just the fact
it's
that
not like she's young.
I mean,
She's
RFK's not that old.
RFK is 70, Kamala's 50 something, but just the fact that she's not an old white man.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah. A talking point that I saw for Trump when he chose his vice president, his running.
He's so fucking
He
boring.
yeah, he what he did was that, like, well, I'm gonna win anyway. Let me just, get this guy who's gonna help me scoop up, just a little bit more votes, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you see the thing that JD Vance said about childless cat ladies?
No, let me look this quote up. I don't know. He's a boring VP pick. I've watched his speeches. It's every politician. Like,
I think it's funny because, like, I'm happy he chose him just because of how shitty that speech was. Like, that's literally like that Family Guy 9/11 speech. Like, he's just trying to say things that, like,
9, 11.
huh? Ah! And then they all just freak out.
Oh, he said his comments were obviously sarcastic and criticized Democrats for being anti-family. Okay.
He said something about.
So, Republican nominee for vice president is doubling down on remarks he made in 2021 about childless cat ladies running their country. So, Kamala Harris.
Yep.
It was obviously a sarcastic comment. I've got nothing against cats. I like this guy. Never mind. My opinion's changed. He doesn't hate cats. And then
That's
blamed
it?
the media-
That's your baseline?
Yeah.
He doesn't hate cats?
Yeah.
I hope he
then
gets on
blamed the
stage
media-
and says,
Yeah. He then blamed the media for focusing so much on the sarcasm and not the substance of what I actually said. Yeah, so he made remarks in 2021 referring to Kamala Harris as one of the childless cat ladies running the nation who want to make the rest of the country miserable too. I also think there was a quote, maybe by JD Vance or someone, that if you don't have a kid, you're not really invested in this country.
Yep.
You're not really like that important, which is so fucking stupid. I have cats, alright? I care about their well-being. I'm invested. I want my
I
life.
want them to have a great life.
Yeah, so give me a good life so I can give them a good life. Now, I've watching Kamala speak, Biden speak, and JD Vance speak. Maybe I'm just seeing bad examples, but
well, I mean, this one's good,
not
right?
a fucking teleprompter, man. All right, like Trump's not eloquent, or he's not super fucking charismatic, but he does freestyle, all right, and especially at his
I
rallies.
mean, yeah, his freestyle is just kind of like the same over and over and over again, but I mean,
Yeah. I get for like political speeches, you need to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm romanticizing politics, like thinking that there was a time where presidents like the best person for the job. He's just so fucking good for this country. He doesn't need a fucking teleprompter. He doesn't need to rehearse a speech. He
it's all
knows
from
what
the heart.
Yeah, maybe that's just a complete fucking fabrication, and that's
Yeah.
childlike. But,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
I'm getting a
Well,
good TikTok education about.
I love you guys too. Just because we're in Middletown, I can say that, right? Man, it is so good. It is so good to be back home for once, isn't it? Wow. We had an amazing crowd here. We have an amazing crowd here. We had hundreds of people outside that couldn't even get in. And I'm just so grateful to Middletown for welcoming me home. It is good to be here. Thank you guys. God bless you. Where can I get a good fried bologna sandwich right now? All right. This is the guy. This is the guy who makes it. All right. Before we get started here, I have to say a few things. And he just goes on and on. That just reminds me of that Always Sunny. So do.
Yeah.
Because he just repeats a bunch of.
Yeah. All right, it's not perfect, but
Are you disappointed in me that I'm not at a Trump rally right now?
you could have been our political liaison today.
Wait, is there one going on?
St. in St.
That's
Cloud,
funny.
Minnesota.
He's
There was a
doing
fuck-
the OPP gauntlet because he was just in North Carolina.
Damn.
Yeah,
He's trying to speak to us. All right.
yeah,
He's
he's
trying to-
all right. I'm not schizo, but you know, what if he wants us to talk about him today?
maybe.
That's why.
I think it's so weird. Never fucking once has Minnesota voted Republican. Like, I get you're just solidifying, I guess. But actually, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The
it
state
doesn't.
is blue. It doesn't matter.
I've seen people saying Minnesota's a swing state.
It's not.
No,
It is
it's never going to be. Ever since
Oh.
the conception of this state, of that state, it's been blue. It's never going to
There's-
change.
majority. I mean, I will agree that like the majority of rural Minnesota, and by rural I mean anything not in the greater Twin Cities area or Duluth, is more on Trump's side. Like the town I live in, the surrounding towns I live in, I see a lot more Trump stuff. You know, flags, keep America great or make America great again, etc., etc. In the Twin Cities area, where the majority of the population lives, there is not as much of that. It is
Yeah.
a different world because it's a different city, it's different lives, you're dealing with different shit, and there's just more people. Minnesota is not a swing state. If this were a popular vote country, then yeah, it would make perfect sense. Every candidate, they just need to go to every fucking state and hammer that shit. But it's also, you know, apparently it's expensive to campaign, and you can't get too much money unless you self finance, but no one wants to elect a billionaire. So you just go to the swing states and you just hold rallies, I guess. I think our political system is so fucking boring. There should be multiple debates almost every fucking week. Right? I don't want a rally. I want a 4-hour Joe Rogan podcast type experience where you are talking about your debate points, shit you want to do.
It'd be
and
interesting if like
done.
there's like maybe a mediator, but they just shut the fuck up for once and just let them like have a back and
Yeah.
forth. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not like a screaming match. It's like, all right, I want to do this. You know, why would you do that? You know, that's horrible. But I guess it kind of used to be that way. If you look at old debate clips, old as in like 2008 compared to now.
2012 even.
Yeah.
It was better at that. But I mean, I won't lie, it's more entertaining now. I've seen your swing. I know your
I mean,
swing.
that's if it wasn't like that, like if it wasn't as insane as it is now, I definitely wouldn't have just watched it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Politics, I think maybe people are wishing for the days when politics was more boring. You know? Because it wasn't as I didn't get as vitriolic, alright? There wasn't extremes. My TikTok page is it's one extreme to the other. It's debunking this, debunking that. Kamala Harris hates black people. Trump is gonna turn this country into a fascist state. Project 2025. The furries are gonna fuck us. Yeah. Speaking
Well,
of Project 2025,
the furries are gonna fuck us.
I just made that up on the spot. You know, I'm a charismatic guy. Just say what comes to mind. So yeah, during this week, I attempted to read the 925-page document that you'd otherwise have to spend $30 on. I got to about page 6 before I just said, fuck it, I'm not doing this. There were a couple of key takeaways, though, that I've heard. The biggest one, well, there's a couple of big ones. The idea of focusing on making America family-centric. You know what, actually, before I...
Wait, what topic are we on? I thought we were on furries.
We're on Project 2025, right? Molly, did you do
Okay.
any research about the furries or no?
I did research on furries.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It intrigued me, and I saw like some videos.
You know what? Yeah, we'll go with. Why don't you start with that? Talk about the furries while I look up the main talking points about the project itself.
All right, so the furry hacker group is actually like a prominent group that has existed for a while. They just got popular because of the Project 2025. They actually in the past have hacked NATO and I think it was like a research facility in Idaho. It was like it had something to do with radioactive material, but like they They've been doing some fuck shit for a while, and now they're doing this 2025 shit. If you look into it, it's actually kind of funny because the one of the senators from Project 2025 actually messaged the guy and gave him shit for being a furry. Here,
Kind of funny to like take time out of your day to like message a furry and be like,
yeah, that hacked your organization's page
yeah,
while simultaneously trying to act like you're not a part of Project 2025, which is weird, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the messages. It's Mike Howell. I have no idea who this guy is, but he's affiliated in some way. Um, okay, there we go. Are you aware that you, Mike Howell? Are you aware that you won't be able to wear your fur wear a furry tiger costume when you're getting pounded in the ass in the federal prison I put you in next year?
What the
Here's
fuck?
the furry. Such unprofessional language from an executive director. Would you mind if I shared this? And then you got like the little like colon and the 3, like a little cat face thing. Mike Howell, please share widely. I hope the word spreads as fast as the STDs do in your degenerate furry community. The furry responds with meow and then image of a cat. Um,
Pretty fun.
and then Mike Howell responds, bestiality is a weird sin. It shows you've gone a few clicks too far in trying to satiate your deviant appetite. And then the furry responds with, "What's your opinion on Vor?" This is good. There's a met. I got
This is
the.
pretty.
No, that's the those are real things that transpired, and then we got Mike Howell himself responding with, "And I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day, I am Radio won't even play my jam, because I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am?"
Why is
And
it Eminem? Goddamn.
this whole thing is just laughable. All right, you have a furry hacker, and then you got like this actually fucking insane. Who is this guy?
I like how he tweeted it.
I guess he's like an executive director of the Heritage Foundation,
Yeah.
which is a part of Project 2025, and that is when I pass the baton to you if you have more information on that.
Yeah. So it's actually surprisingly hard just to find a website that gives you like the main talking points without any fucking fluff. But this is the best I got. So there's four main pillars. Before I get into it, the idea of Project 25, this is like a handoff to the next Republican president. Not specifically Trump, just the next Republican nominee as a set of guidelines, policies, etc. that they would think, the president should take, because these would be good ideas. Um, so this is from Vox, so any misquotations, this is going to be blamed on Vox. Number one is concentrating power within the presidency itself. Um, the idea here is to give Trump and his appointees more power over the executive branch, so increasing presidential power, um, achieving long-time conservative party priorities, stuff like slashing regulations, um, which they might have already gotten with Chevron overturned, reducing federal spending on the poor, ditching efforts to fight climate change, ramping up military spending, um, taking a hardline religious right agenda, this was one of the things that I did see during my reading. The stances on pornography and abortion. Pornography, the people who produce it should be imprisoned. Content itself should be outlawed. And abortion should be illegal. Just up and I think the stance. I think even Trump has said like his stance. He personally believes that it shouldn't be allowed unless the mother's life is in danger. It was sexual assault or something else. It was a third thing. But basically,
Was it incest?
yeah, incest. Yeah. Yeah, so unless you have one of those three factors in contributing to your child, you have to bring it to term. And they don't have the fourth pillar, the fourth talking point. Wait, concentrating power. Okay. So yeah, it's I don't know. The man himself, you got to take everything a politician says with a grain of salt. He says that he doesn't support it, that he's not really into it. I don't know. It's like it's not. He gets elected president, and all this shit just happens. You can't just, to my knowledge, you can't just increase the power of the executive branch overnight and make yourself God Emperor. If that were feasible, it would have been done a long time ago, before fucking 2016.
Yeah.
As far as, I know stuff like Roe v. Wade, federal guarantee of the right to abortion access. That being, I think the idea was that it wasn't constitutional and everything needs to be constitutional to impose a federal ruling like that, so sending it back to the states to decide is more in line with how they believe the Constitution dictates this country, how it should function. There's a lot of emphasis on what's constitutional, and I do agree with it to some extent. But also, you can't like always be limited by is it constitutional or not. Obviously,
That's interesting. That's an interesting statement.
I'm gonna cherry pick shit that I think is like I think for an example, Second Amendment, First Amendment, those are pretty fucking good. I know one of the talking points about Kamala Harris. I think I should pull up the exact quote, but I'm gonna paraphrase what I remember her saying. Something about instituting a mandatory gun buyback. That you don't forcing or enacting legislation to ban assault weapons. And assault weapons, as she defined them, was something along the lines of weapons with the capability to do massive casualties in a short amount of time, which is literally every fucking weapon aside from muskets or single shots.
Yeah.
Even single shots where you have to load and reload, it's still, if you're fast, you can still kill 10 fucking people. And I'd say that's mass casualties. It's literally every gun is, some are easier, fully automatic weapons. Those are a lot easier to kill a lot of people than fully semi-automatic weapons. But
fully semi.
Yeah, fully semi. I still love that. I think it's not going to happen. There's no fucking way it would. And
people love their guns too much.
People love their guns. They're not going to do
Wait,
it.
you want?
No, I don't.
You want it?
I think it's fucking stupid. It's not gonna. It wouldn't work if you got it to pass. If you tried to send police or ATF into seizing a lot of people's guns, yeah, there'd be people that would acquiesce, and there would also be a lot of standoffs.
There's a lot of yeah.
It would cause a lot more problems.
Also, can you turn down the volume for me? Because since you're refusing to get headphones.
Because there's two of us here, and I could get a headphone splitter. I should do that, but no, it just wouldn't work. All right, I think that's a stupid idea. There's too much industry and business and profit, and the Republican Party gets a fuck ton of money from gun lobbyists. Obviously, Democrats do too. All right, there's definitely people of that party that get fucking Jamaican vacations from the NRA on both sides. It's a good talking point, but outright ban wouldn't do shit. And even some of the other policies, like one of the things that Kamala mentioned was that if you sell more than 5 guns per year or whatever, that you need to do background checks on the people you're selling guns to. That's already a policy. It's already
Alright.
in place.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things that are.
I think we're like kind of sidetracked a little bit.
Just finally do a background check.
But no, basically, to get back to the original point, I think there are some things that are good in the Constitution. A lot of the first couple dozen amendments or so, I should read through them all again to see which ones I actually agree with. But I think it's a bad idea to always have the framework of your country be based in a constitution that cannot account for everything. There is a lot of fucking gray, and you need to be able to update it. So if something is technically not constitutional, but it's the will of the people, and a majority of people can agree that, yeah, this is a good idea, or we like this, then just make it so. But that's a radical young Gen Zer, so that's.
Yeah. Speaking of Gen Zers, I actually don't know their ages, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of like go into that hacker group called SageSec,
Yep.
or what they like to call themselves, the gay furry hackers, right? That's their nickname. Their notable attacks. I mean, I'm just reading this off Wikipedia. There's really no other way to find. It's just it's hard. But notable attacks is at last Atlassian, I think. It's a Australian software company. I've heard of it before, and I think I might have. I don't know. I've definitely heard of it. That was just like 13,000 employee records were affected. Hashtag OP-Tran rights movements targeted several United States government entities to protest anti-gender affirming care bills. So they're just like, this obviously like a radical liberal hacker group. So they have motives, but they say that they just do it for fun. University of Connecticut falsely announcing unfortunate passing of Radenka Merrick. I guess it was just like I guess that was just for fun. They said they did it for the lulz. And then just last year they did a NATO attack. Total over 3,000 internal documents to portals compromised were joint advanced distributing learning. NATO lessons learn portal what? Logistics network. Communities of interest. Portal, NATO investment division portal, and NATO standardization offices. Shortly after the incident, NATO announced that they would be investigating the attack. Supposedly, what I've heard said they've also put out some, personal stuff from people who are part of NATO. I just think that's interesting because they probably got nothing from NATO lessons. Anyway, and then we got Bazek. I don't know what that is. Telecommunication providers, hackers released information on nearly 50,000 customers. Idaho National Laboratory. That was just last year, and I guess. Oh yeah, so this is a good one. So they hacked the Idaho National Laboratory with the group demanding that the laboratory put research into creating real-life cat girls in exchange for the data to be removed. So I think that one was pretty interesting. And then yeah, the Heritage Foundation. So they have a pretty big record and a pretty long trail. I think recently they just disbanded, for obvious reasons.
I love hacker groups. They're anonymous but better.
Anonymous is a hacker group. Actually, I think Anonymous is just more of an idea, more than a hacker group. I mean,
No,
I don't even think they ever were a group. I think it's just like
no,
always an idea.
They were a definite hacker group. There were people that got arrested for it.
Okay.
Members of Anonymous for cyber crimes.
What cybercrime?
Yeah, let's see what Gemini tells me. The Anonymous Hacker Group is a loose confederation of hackers and online activists, and it has had several members arrested. Interesting. There's this guy called Chris Doyen. He was known as Commander X. He was arrested in 2011 for a cyber attack on Santa Cruz's county's website, but then fled to Canada in 2012 after jumping bail.
Okay. So what's the significance of that? You just went to Canada?
Yeah, it's all he's just fucking no. So
Good
there's
for
been
him.
people arrested with it. I mean, they haven't really done any. Maybe anonymous. What would we type here? Highlights. What's their what have they done in their career? Yeah, I get who they are. Google, just tell me what they've done.
I mean, I know that they're just an idea now. People use it, and then it's the boomers.
Yeah.
The boomers, or we're just like old people in general. Just it was anonymous. They did it. We need to catch these guys.
What the fuck? Yeah, this is a lot of bullshit. They haven't really done anything that cool. Oh, wait, okay, this one's actually interesting. Victim: Visa, MasterCard, Amazon, PayPal. When a US government demanded that WikiLeaks stop releasing top secret diplomatic cables to the public, a number of companies that supported WikiLeaks in the past turned against the website by freezing accounts and shutting down the site servers. Anonymous decided to step in on behalf of Julian Assange's cause and declared war on Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal. On December 8th, 2010, both Visa's and MasterCard sites were taken down. That's it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so I guess they're boring as fuck.
This is pathetic.
The most interesting one, I guess, is the gay furry hacking group.
Oh, yeah.
They asked a professional laboratory to research cat girls, all right?
I don't. My taxpayer money goes to.
Yeah, your taxpayer money goes to
Anonymous, yeah.
Yeah. We are about an hour in. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with a guest. A new guest this time.
Someone new? Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
It's gonna be Tracy again.
Get out! All right.
We're on break.
We're on break.
Oblivion Planet. Technology. The idea of leaving the industrial age behind. Self-defense. Aggravated assault is a slight overreaction with an excuse. What do these two things have in common? Well, if you ignore this life-altering message, the answer will be nothing. But if you go on a journey of superior craftsmanship with us at Cylindria, you will come to know that they are one and the same. Mined from the core of a once-thought depleted, unregulated blood diamond mine off the coast of Pakistan. With the help of Abdullah bin Al-Ashwami's mining company, we have gotten the necessary materials for our latest feat of engineering. The gallium-filled gold-wrapped copper-insulated ring with its inner silicone lining ensures functionality. These are the Reaper and Richard rings. First, let's talk about the slightly lesser, potentially non-lethal Reaper ring. Forged by none other than Mike Stetson himself. Crafted to fit your finger and designed to deliver a lovely 65,000 volts on contact. It is your new personal insurance policy. It's designed to be a wake-up call, not to kill. With its enhanced activation technology, all you have to do is use the included Grim ring on the opposite hand and touch the contacts for both rings on the target. It's so much more simple to use that anyone can do it. Now, let's talk about the Richard ring. This absolutely will, for sure, definitely kill someone if used incorrectly, because it boasts an incredible 18 million volts of absolute subjugation. But seriously, don't use the Richard ring on a living being. It is designed to integrate with and charge Sapphire Tech's wound tap. These rings are powered by a certain 7th astrological edition battery known for its high power output. The battery is then concealed inside the user's forearm, just between the radius and ulna for maximum comfort. The wires are designated to be quite fashionable, appearing to the untrained eye as a bracelet. Our software engineers at Cylindria have assured us that the transfer of electricity is safe and fast. And that rumor about the rings throwing arcs was pretty false. That being said, do not touch the rings together. You can relax knowing your safety is in our hands, or rather yours. From all of us at Cylindria, we welcome you to the latest in our self-defense family.
Listen, this is Max Stiffson himself. I'm definitely not supposed to tell you this, but due to recent events, I need these all gone. If you call the host right now, and I mean right now, I'll give you a whole set. That's the Grim, the Reaper, and Richard rings for 8 installments of $19.95. I mean it. You should have called 5 minutes ago. I need these off my record books.
And now, we return to our hosts.
All right, hold on.
We're not live.
We're back, and now we have a guest with us. What would you like us to refer you as?
That's up to you now, Cam. I'd say illest, but
Illest. All right,
yeah,
we'll use
yeah, or
illest.
just my
Illest?
Discord name, you know.
All
Okay.
right,
Or
so
lies. Lies is what is easier to say. Lies.
Lie.
I mean either works. Well, I'll stick with illest.
Right.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on abortion?
Ooh, I feel like
No,
I'm
I'm
a little
sorry.
bit both.
I'm not gonna do that to you. That's way
No,
too
I was
deep of a
like,
topic for like right away.
Yeah,
I
we'll
was
put
ready
you-
for it right away.
If you're
But
fucking ready, yeah, if you're ready, go for it. I mean, fuck it.
Oh,
We're already
fuck.
here.
I feel like both. There's like I could see both sides of it. There's sometimes where you should be allowed, and then sometimes it's
You
better.
should-
Like there's sometimes where you like it's better to have the baby, and then there's sometimes where there isn't.
So what are
like
the
What are the times where it
I feel,
isn't?
all right. My honest thoughts is that I think two people, they know what they're doing and they know the risk before. So like they should talk about it before they actually do it in case it does come up, so they're on the same page. But when people are on different pages, I think that's where the real problem is.
Right.
But me personally, I'm like I'd rather not have one, like the person I'm with not have one. But if they want it in the end, it is like their body. Even though like I have my like some religious beliefs and stuff, in the end it's their body, and I knew that risk I was taking
Yeah.
before I did it. So like as much I could highly recommend they don't, and like yeah, I would want the kid for myself and like not charge anything or anything like that. But like in reality, that's not gonna happen. So like yeah, you're taking that risk.
okay?
All right, good point. I
Yeah,
mean, a big part
but
of mine is just like frequency. Like if you're going there like frequently, like
Yeah.
to a
Regular,
clinic
yeah.
and like
I don't
I
think
agree
they
on that
know
one.
that.
Yeah, I don't
think
know.
you're allowed to go multiple
That doesn't
times
sound healthy at all.
to certain scales.
no, it's not, and I'm sure it's probably painful and very shitty. So I can't imagine that would even be like realistic. But
I know personally, from someone that I know who got in one, it messes with like how they like the night that they do it. It's a lot for a woman to go through in general.
yeah,
Is there a man equivalent?
No.
yeah, it's losing. It's losing in Fortnite.
I just wanted to see if you had something like on the tip of the tongue that you could respond with, but okay.
No, no.
No, Cam, do you have any
I'm
other?
pretty Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. I mean, unless
Oh,
you have
no,
something else
I
to say
mean-
about the topic.
No, I was just gonna say like in general, I don't really. I think because I'm like younger, I
Mhm.
feel like I don't really have much of a like. I'm very like easygoing beliefs. I don't have much of a like standpoint on anything. I'm just like people are people, and whatever floats the boat kind of goes in a way. As corny as it sounds, but like I think when I'm older, it'll affect me much more. But yeah, yeah.
How do you think it'll affect you when you're older? Do you think you'll just be
Well,
more?
I'm saying like having more like beliefs on like say from political standpoint, because I feel like abortion it falls in political, but also falls in religious. And if you're not religious, then like I think the biggest reason why people are against abortion is because of religion, and then the people who are for abortion are more like I feel like not as religious, because ideally if you're religious, like specifically Christian or Catholic or something, you don't believe in like getting an abortion. So most people are not getting one.
Pro-life,
Um,
celebrate life. Yeah.
yeah, most of the people that are not. So like really you're putting two arguments for like people trying to control other people, in their beliefs.
Yeah.
And
So
I
what do you
think
think should be done at a federal, state level? How do you think America should handle its ongoing debate about this topic?
I really don't know. I think it should just be up to each person, honestly. And like they know the health risks and stuff like that. I don't think other people should really have a say on what people do to their bodies in general.
Yeah. So Okay. I was trying to think of something else to follow up with, but I think you explained it pretty well. I can agree with that. Did you say that you were kind of religious? Like you have some spiritual views?
Uh, I would say I'm partly Christian, but I'm definitely more spiritual.
Yeah.
Like like spirituality. So
I like that
that's
you.
where I'm.
I like that
Say
you have
again.
a distinction. I like how you have the distinction between the two. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm definitely way more spiritual though, like hippie type of spiritual in a way.
Does that really play an active part in your life, or is this just like these are my inner thoughts? This is what I
It
think
one
is.
Yeah, it 100% plays a part of my life. Like I'm very my biggest life like goal or like how I like to live by is living life authentically as possible and just being like your core self. Just being authentic, like your own person, not like anyone else's. Just like we all have our own unique individualism in a way.
Yeah.
So I think my spirituality, like it definitely helps play, and I live by it. I may not look like it or be as out there, just being what I do on the on the normal for work, but outside of work and stuff like that, I show it a lot.
So how do you show it?
Just how I dress and stuff like that, and like the stuff I have like in my personal like in my room, say. Um, but like how I show it at work is just being a good person in general, and
Yeah,
like being nice and happy and like just spreading love and positivity.
that's good. I want to circle back. What do you mean by how you dress? I'm curious what you mean.
Because I just like sometimes I dress very.
Hmm.
Hello, hello, buddy. All right. Well, uh, technical
Hip.
difficulties. Oh, you're back.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds glitchy.
Oh, sorry. It's because I was getting a call.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But sometimes I'll show it by like being more expressive and wearing more colors or wearing like my bracelets or like say when I like sleep or when I sleep, for example, I sleep with like specific bracelets that are supposed to protect me like in my sleep, and then
yeah.
I have plants and stuff, like just a lot of expressive stuff like that.
Okay. Expressive with it. Do you dream a lot?
Yeah, yeah, I dream every night almost.
Every night. Lucky motherfucker.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
What are
like
are they good dreams? Are they what the fuck did I just
I'd say 50-50. So like um even when I nap I dream, but the bracelets I actually got are supposed to protect me from I so in general I dream like basically anything I lucid dream. Um, but the problem I'm having, which a lot of people don't know about, because again, like which is why I'm not as spiritual out there, because a lot of people don't understand the spiritual side. Um, so I just don't want to talk about it as much. But I astral project quite often, so I
Mhm.
got bracelets to like protect me in the astral plane because the astral projections I was getting were not like good ones, and I just
Yeah.
didn't feel safe
What's
messing with those
can you
type of
explain
planes.
what astral projecting is?
Yes, astral projecting is basically when your physical body and your astral body, like your soul, kind of, it's like your soul leaving your body. So when it starts to happen, um, you're kind of like you hear like either like silent it'll go, but you'll hear like a loud like vibration, like really loud vibrations, or like a jet, or like a fan spinning up, or like
Yeah.
what's the best way? Like a vortex, almost like you're in like a vortex that you're going down like, and it's like overwhelming the sound, and then all of a sudden, like during that time, it feels like invisible force is like pulling your body, and like it could start from the feet up, from like the head, anywhere it could start, and it feels like invisible force is pulling your body out, and then all of a sudden when you completely commit, it goes like silent and you're in like a different plane. It's a little bit like foggy and stuff at first,
Mhm.
and it's just like you're messing with other entities and like stuff that you can't see, so like you could be messing with either people that are stuck in that plane or just seeing bad like spirits or anything. It could be good or bad, but most of the time, like you don't know what you're getting into, and you kind of gotta like read the room first. So before I fully committed, I like what do you call I'm running a blank right now. I burned this kind of herb in my house, so it cleans my house.
Okay.
It had lavender in it, and then yeah, I did that to make sure like all the bad stuff was gone. And then
Okay. My mom used to do that actually. That's interesting.
yeah, yeah, I did that, and immediately after, my housemates and stuff, they like felt some of them felt more tired, which is normal when you burn it. Um, but like it felt like a weight lifted off your shoulders, like the vibes in the house and like how it felt was different. And then it was also funny because this brand new light bulb we got never flickered and it started flickering when we were doing that too. So that was also a coincidence. But we had burned stuff in our house because we felt like something weird was happening, like multiple, like all of us did, and I'm the only spiritual one. But they weren't. They were skeptical at first, and then they we did that to cleanse the house because I wasn't trying to go in the astral plane. Well, we don't know what's out there, so
Yep.
it helps out a little bit. But yeah, it's just happening too often, and then once it happens, though, when you commit, like you could do this thing called flying, where you kind of travel anywhere in a way. And not everyone could do it, and not everyone could astral project either. But like, I highly wouldn't recommend you even try it because naturally it happens to me. So I got those bracelets actually, so it stops happening and like I'm protected in case it does. And since I got those bracelets, uh, every night that I sleep with them, I don't astral projector. If I do, it's like good stuff. They actually like really work. I was kind of skeptical at first in the aspect, and I really believed in it, and they really protect you from like that stuff. Like crystals and stuff. I think they have a natural energy from the earth, and like everything like that we make, and they all tie in with like our energy and as people. Sorry, I can keep going
Yeah.
on, but if you guys want to ask specific questions, feel free.
That's interesting. So you think that, we're more than, just a biological makeup of the universe? You think that we're like more metaphysical?
100%. 100%. I think we have our physical bodies, and I think it also ties in with like one example, of not having to do much with astral projection, but how there's different what is it? Different like what is it? The quantum physics or stuff like that. How they say there's like a quantum thing with like the stuff we can't see, like 4D or 5D,
Yeah.
something like that. I think it's an example like that. Like there's different planes that are out there that we can't see and you can't get to, like um with like the naked eye or with our senses. And I think that's where like our chakras come in a way. And like in order to get those, because a lot of people that do reach astral projection, it either happens like naturally, like they don't try to do it, or they meditate, and you're hitting like a certain frequency where your body's like really calm and stuff, and it takes you to like that lower frequency, I
Yeah.
believe. And that's when like you're in a different plane in general, where you're aware, you're awake and everything. You can see everything around you. You can see like sometimes old stuff that used to be there that's not there anymore. Um, a lot of different things, but I believe that you have your soul and then you have your physical body that you're just in the meantime while you're here on like your actual earth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I mean, I'm personally more a skeptical person. If you can find that out, I like to think I'm more agnostic. In that,
Agnostic.
like, there has to be more, but at the same time, I mean, you know,
So
it just seems like it could be like a biological coincidence. There's some sort of test some guy did where you kind of like mimic the effects of like weathering inside.
oh, so, yeah, sorry.
Oh, Yeah, he kind of mimicked the effects of like weathering and all this shit that happened that created Earth, and I guess got kind of like similar results. Like it just kind of. I suppose I'm speaking more out of my ass. There should be more. I should have more for this topic, but I mean, it was it was just an interesting talking point for how we're kind of like a biological coincidence. But it's yeah. I like to think that we're more than that, so I like to hear stuff like this. Have
So
you
if
ever?
you're sorry, if you're agnostic, do you and you believe like there's more to that? Do you believe in like like you have your physical body too and like your soul, or you believe there's more to that also? Like
I
not just
mean,
like the man who made the bird.
I don't know what it is. It just just like a feeling like there has to be more than this, right? Because I am experiencing reality. There's
Well,
no
what did
way that like my experiences and just I myself
You
just
don't know what's
ceases
out there, but you think
completely.
something's out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you experience before your first memory?
I mean, okay, so you're gonna bring up, you
Yeah.
remembered nothing before you were born, so
Yeah.
that's what death is like. But I
Yeah.
mean, what if there's something that's just like blocking it? You don't.
So I'm curious.
Sorry, are
When,
you asking me what I believe before my first memory or no?
I guess
Or
I was asking no cam, but yeah, I can shift the question to you. So how I always think of it, I wish I wasn't as bleak about it, but it's not nothing because nothing is something. Death is like life before you were born.
There's nothing there. Like
It's just blank. There's just you're not alive. So I don't know. It's like why when are we given a soul, I guess so to say? Is it when the I'm very I don't know how pregnancy fully works. I know the very basics. When the sperm hits the egg, is that when the soul is given?
Or
Or is it
when was it when you were a sperm?
yeah, is like every fucking sperm swimming in my nuts? Do they all have souls? Is that
Do they all have like? I mean, obviously, individually, they all could
yeah,
create its own human
person.
being, but
Yeah. But like it doesn't have a soul because it's not nothing. Obviously, it's a tangible. Well, it's a thing. All right, if you get a fucking electron microscope, you can look at it. But I guess yeah, would it be quantum? Is that where the soul is stored? Something so minuscule that you can't see it.
does a soul come to once they connect?
Yeah,
Because
maybe
can't
maybe the
have
sperm is half the soul and the egg has the other half, and then 1 + 1 = 2.
yeah.
1 + 1 = 3. Shout out to Terrence Howard. No, I mean the idea of like religion, as in if you do good, live moral, do good by your neighbor, you'll get your place with the other do-gooders. I do not believe that for any religion. It'd be something completely different than whatever the fuck it is. The common idea of like afterlife. I feel like I don't know how the science would work behind ghosts, but I'm more inclined to believe that.
Believe ghosts exist.
we're
Yeah.
just.
Well,
I
we
mean,
have.
when you think about that, right?
Do you
Because
have a soul?
imagine how much people have died that are just living amongst us, or are they just like waiting to go to like a different place,
Well, all right.
or is
So
it
if
just
you're,
like a crowded like
yeah.
dumpster fire wherever you go in the ghost
So I
world?
think another question that I'm just thinking about myself right now. If you believe that we have a soul, is our soul separate from being conscious, whatever the fuck that is, or is the soul a byproduct of consciousness? Because if the soul is a byproduct of consciousness and death is the cessation of a functioning brain, then your soul dies when your brain dies and you're just dead. There's nothing. But if the soul and consciousness are two separate things, the soul can live on without, proper brain function, so something is left after your physical body dies. So where does that go? If the soul exists, if it's not a byproduct of just the human brain, if it's an actual thing, which I mean, I don't know how you'd even go about trying to fucking quantify, because it's a word, it's like an idea, it's a frame of mind. You know, we're conscious. What does that mean? It means that we
What's a soul supposed to like represent?
You're asking too many questions. Start with one question. We'll build off of that.
What is a soul typically seen as? Is it just goodness? Is it like, or is it just like oh, you exist, obviously? Like,
all right. So this is a AI overview telling me what a soul is. So that's some good irony. But the soul is the immaterial essence of a person that gives them individuality and humanity.
so do we lose our
We lose who we are and our humanity when we die,
because
we're not alive anymore to have that.
That's
It is
interesting
often-
because we found, our higher brain functions inside the brain, our thoughts and everything. Are those just pulled out?
Yeah, I think it's.
Is life created every time? Like, is there a new soul whenever someone's born, or is it just like
No, that's
a
not
reincarnation thing?
Reincarnation would be interesting. Like nothing is ever truly erased. The idea. I'm not sure if it's an idea or it's like a known thing, but like the amount of energy or matter when the universe first started is the same now as it was back then. If that's the case, then I guess that'd lend credence to the idea that yeah, we're just recycled meat bags. Our soul is, at least, one dies, another takes its place.
I find the theory funny of like, how it's like you see light, like go to the light, like that's you going to like quote unquote heaven and stuff. Like when you die, you'll see a bright light.
Yeah.
Some people like to think that bright light represents the hospital room for your new life.
So I mean, people like experience the bright light, but that's because like that's like the first part of death is your chemicals start to release in your brain, and it starts doing goofy shit. It's like the ultimate dream. It's like the ultimate high because everything's getting released.
Yeah, your brain is calming you down for the immediate crash landing that's about to occur. The fucking light flashes before your eyes. Isn't that what that is? Your brain is like, all right, let me show you a quick highlight reel.
But then,
I mean, your brain doesn't really care about that. It's just all your. It's just.
I think it would.
It's just all your shit that's just releasing and, disappearing.
I mean, the brain is telling it to release, though. Why? I mean, it's not conscious. I mean, it's like adrenaline. You don't consciously fucking activate it. Your body and brain, they just work together to just do it as a response. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, I don't know. I guess the best way to experience it, you should hire someone to mug me and pull a gun on me and, like, get me to the point where I think, oh, fuck, I'm dead. And
Phone prank part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see what my brain conjures up. I don't know. I feel like I'd be the type. I don't think. It's just, oh, fuck. And then, because you have to, like, expect your last moments in order for that to happen. The people that are just living and then not living the next moment, your brain doesn't have time to, unless it's, like, fucking shorter than seconds, shorter than whatever unit of measurement is smaller than seconds, that your brain just instantly get out.
I mean, you have dreams that feel like take hours within, like a 30-minute nap.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess your experience of reality just is changed within. I mean, your reality is created by your brain, but it changes.
Instant brain death, which isn't too hard to achieve, I feel like. I mean, if your fucking body is exploded on a molecular level, I don't think your body has time to process. Your brain has time to process that, but.
What are your thoughts on, like, doing those, like, million-year prison sentences within your brain, like, and it's like only 30 minutes?
I think that is the worst form of torture. That is hell. You're just sitting in a cell for 1,000,000 years. Like, what do
Yeah.
you come out as? You could be fine for the first like 1,000 years. You
Maybe.
know,
Yeah.
you have a strong spirit, you know, and then you're just a fucking husk after that. I
You just
would
have to
rather,
relearn everything.
yeah, I would rather be sent to slave labor for the rest of my life and just die when I'm too fucking old. I can't pick up the pickaxe, and they say, "Well, you're fucking useless," and they just shoot me. I would rather get executed than be sentenced to live 1,000,000 years in a prison cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a fucking infinite Tsukiyomi, or just Tsukiyomi in general. That shit is terrible. Miyamoto sent an anime if you guys would understand. But it's basically, yeah, that's one of the character's abilities is he just traps you in so in like real time, you know,
Fucking cunt of a cat.
she is a cunt. In real time, you know, you're only tortured for 30 seconds, but to you it feels like 3 days of just getting stabbed, burned alive, just tortured over and over. It's fucking horrible. That is, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But like if you asked me if I could choose to live for as long as I wanted to, I would feel comfortable saying 1,000 years because a lot can fucking change in 1,000 years, you know? Like I can't die no matter what in 1,000 years. I think that'd be good. I know there's an end, and you know, 1,000 years is a pretty long time. That's only like 10 lifetimes if you're really smart about your health.
Okay.
It's not that long in the grand scheme of things.
That's pretty long.
It's long, but it's not 1,000,000 years long.
Okay. So looking into it, I guess you know what the brain does. It kind of just goes in some sort of survival mode, you know, because of lack of oxygen. And then, you know, it's pretty much just the brain freaking out because it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
My guess is that what happens is it tries to like kind of release like a shit ton of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe something will work. It's just trying like its hardest to, you know, fix whatever the fuck's happening, but
Yeah.
it's in vain. At least that's my guess. But
Yeah.
after reading a couple random shit,
I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about. I don't like thinking about it because no one has the fucking. Everyone has an answer for something, except this. There is no definitive explanation.
I mean, there's really no definitive explanation for yawning or dreaming either.
I'm sure there probably is.
There isn't. We have ideas about, you know, why
Well,
we
at least
dream.
there's
I
ideas.
mean,
There's ideas.
a good one is just it's your brain just remembering what happened, or it's putting itself in.
I mean, my
I
dream.
forgot.
So, I dreamed for the first time in a while, actually. Yeah, no, our guest is fucking gone. I don't know where he went, but my dreams are weird. All right, they were things that have occurred in my life semi recently. Like I was in my work vehicle, um, flying above a lake, and then it just plummeted down into the lake. So my work vehicle bought a lake. I've driven by lakes recently. I was at my old school at a lock-in type event, but the school was different. It was more maze-like. Um, I don't know what the fuck any of that means. Like the first dream is the most bizarre one to me because I spend a lot of time in my work vehicle, but why am I flying into the sky? And then why do I crash into a lake? I was trying to think about as a fucking dream reader. What symbolism is that? What is my mind saying?
You could Google it.
That's way too specific. I need a professional, all right? Because they'll feed me bullshit that I want to hear. You know what? I'll try Google. Fuck it. What do you guys think it means? You're in a vehicle,
You feel like you're going nowhere.
but then what's the crashing?
I mean, I think it means nothing, but
What? That's a boring answer.
It feels like you're finally gonna be going to a greater depth, and then it's all just gonna come crashing down.
All right, I love AI overviews about dreams. Dreaming about flying in a vehicle could mean that you have the resources to overcome current problems or that you're unconsciously willing to take risks in difficult situations.
And then
Thank you.
if going into the water means it all comes crashing down.
So I think I can handle the risk and then it just which actually sounds pretty accurate. You know, I thought I could drift, and I broke my fucking vehicle. I thought I could drift at the parking lot, and I got a fucking ticket. I don't know. Flying in a dream can also be a subconscious expression of elation. I mean, I wasn't really elated at the fact that I was flying. I was more like, what the fuck? This is. I wasn't scared. I wasn't terrified. But it also wasn't a good feeling. Like, the more I press on the gas pedal, the higher I go. It was unnerving.
That's interesting. I mean, some people just think that dreams just mean nothing, and it's your brain just randomly experiencing events, and then it's just, you know, the reason why you forget dreams is because you're not supposed to remember them, you know, because they're just not important to you.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but like, I guess the idea that why is our brain doing this? Why is it replaying parts of our lives back to us?
Yeah.
Is it doing that for a reason? I mean, most people, if you interpret your dreams, you believe it's for a reason. It's your subconscious, the accumulation of everything you've experienced, but you just haven't consciously dealt with.
Right.
I guess it's more like shadow self. This is some Nietzsche shit right here. But I don't know. It's definitely more fun to think that dreams have meaning than not. I think so, at least.
It feels like it gives them more of a purpose.
Yeah, see, it's like religion or like spirituality. It just like gives you.
It's not real, but we like to make it real.
Yeah, we like to give it more meaning than it is. But I mean, again, that's really who you are. Maybe there is more meaning than we think it has.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing, alive. That's good. You're alive.
So you're back.
We can dream. Animals have to dream.
Wait, I do have a question for you. I'm curious. Have you tried or have you lucid dreamt before?
Me?
Yeah, but lucid dreaming doesn't come close to like what I was saying.
Why are you
Astral projection? What makes astral projection better?
Because so lucid dreaming, you're still like you're aware that you're asleep in your dreaming. Astral projection, you're awake, like your astral body's still awake. You could see like your actual body asleep still. You could see like around your house and like everything exactly how it is, and you can walk around and
I mean,
stuff
that's
like that,
interesting, but like, so lucid dreaming, it's like your own playground. It's like a dream with mods. You can do whatever you want.
I do like that.
But astral plane is like real stuff. You can't just do whatever you want. You're messing with other spirits and outer body like things, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. I think lucid dreaming is like you can kind of do whatever and like control it. But astral projection, you're messing with like real stuff on different planes, like good and bad stuff.
I wish I could astral project. That seems really interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. I think the brain is fucking wild. Like there are a couple of people
You're
I've heard.
wild.
So you can take
are your brain.
substances. Yeah, you can take substances and they can do fucky things to your brain. They can change how your brain interfaces with reality, fuck with your senses. You take acid and you're tripping. You get a tripping feeling. But you can also do fucking breathing exercises. I don't know the specifics, but people on other podcasts have said that, yeah, I do this breathing exercise for 30 minutes or an hour, and I get similar effects to taking psychedelics. All that is to say is that you can just interface with, you can trick your brain by doing certain things into just altering your senses.
Yeah.
You can make your brain do shit. All right, it's placebo. So,
placebo?
I don't know. Because I guess like the best study group to do this would be like people that are not spiritual at all. They don't know any idea about it. They haven't heard any theories or about what's supposed to happen, what other people have experienced. And you give them the same exercises as people that do claim these things. And you just see if any of them experience the same thing. Even if they do
Honestly,
experience the same thing,
oh,
it's
go
like,
ahead.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah,
I was gonna say before I was spiritual though, like I think the astro stuff definitely made me go more spiritual
I'd imagine.
because I
Yeah.
was skeptical. I was kind of agnostic too, and like didn't really believe in anything in general, and then that made me go more spiritual, and then other things made me go Christian too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So you use agnosticism? Is that how you say it?
Eggnog.
You used you know, the belief of being agnostic as kind of like a bridge to other beliefs.
Correct. Before I chose or decided to stay playing myself as like one religion, I was looking at other religions too. And then I kind of just let like whatever happened natural, and then that was happening, and I was like more into it, and it ended up being like more spiritual stuff. So I was like, you know what, like just my personality, um,
Yeah.
like really like positive and like just loving and stuff like that. I wanted like something more in that and spiritualism. Spirituality is like the best, like what goes with my like core values the most. I think that's why. And then the only reason I'm not the only reason I'm Christian, but like I have specific reasons why I'm Christian. But I haven't ever experienced any like godly moments or like what do you call what's
Religious
the
moments or
like anything like uh when miracles, any miracles, you know, or
yeah.
anything like that. That would actually like turn me to believe in God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a miracle whenever I am able to get up and walk after I jump, but I mean, that's a different thing. Um but yeah, I think that's just it's interesting because we always try and like find,
We
you know,
are a problem
where
solving species. This is a problem
yeah,
we don't understand, so we need to quantify.
yeah, we need to find a way to, you know, make it
Makes sense, yeah.
yeah, make it have reasoning. But
We tamper and fuck with everything because we just like to curiosity for curiosity's sake. It's just that's what the human species has done. You just fuck with shit, and then oh, that's how you make this hot and glowing yellow, orange, red thing that gives me heat. Oh, this circular object allows me to transport. It's just yeah, it's continuous.
right.
I don't know. It's just like you don't know something. It's not a good feeling. It doesn't sit well with you most of the time. So yeah, I think if I could ask like a omnipotent being, I think like one of the best questions is what happens. The two questions: what happens after deaths, and why the fuck are dreams a thing?
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good question because what happens after death, right? No one obviously knows exactly what happens after death, but it feels like if we do die, if you were like Christian,
If
right, you're supposed to go to heaven, or like when we do die, right?
You believe?
When we do die, where if you're Christian, you believe you're going to heaven or hell, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, you're living like another life in a way, although it's just like infinite amount, like you're
Yeah.
basically like alive forever, like a god in a way. But so basically you're dying, but then you're coming alive again. So really, like when you die, you're just living.
okay,
Like
so
we
like
never
you
actually
think
die, you know, which is kind of weird.
it's kind of like real life experiences, right? You know,
Yeah.
you get out of it what you go into it with. So like
That's
if you
terrifying.
think, yeah, I'm definitely going to hell. Oh God,
And
and like you die,
in
you're
your own heart.
yeah.
I don't want a black screen. That sounds fucking awful. I'm becoming more spiritual the more this podcast goes on. I need to start believing. I need to take the rest of my fucking tabs of acid and fucking believe something.
Go to heaven.
I don't want to take acid and think I'm going to heaven. You know what? I should write down these questions and then record trying to answer these while tripping on LSD. I feel like I'd be an incoherent mess, but I think it could be fun.
It's yeah. For me, I would just like reincarnate, you know,
That would be.
into
I want to
something
be
interesting.
Why do
I
you
want to
wanna be-
reincarnate somewhere interesting, like someplace in Andromeda. All right, I don't want to. I think like
No.
Earth.
Go back to Russia in the 1920s. Time isn't linear when you're dead. You get reincarnated. You don't have any memories.
That would be
But-
interesting if there was like a little lobby you go to for like a little bit and like, oh
It's
yeah,
just-
yeah, I did
Bro,
this Mark Thompson back in the 1920s. Like, oh yeah, I did his life too. It fucking sucks.
That was Lee Harvey Oswald, guys.
Yeah, it's like yeah, we all were. All right, it's not as glamorous.
Yeah. Fucking riot shield. It's just pretty good. What about you, Molly? What do you think about death, dream? Well, fuck dreams. What do you think
Yeah.
about? Yeah, what happens when you die?
I've always been a firm believer that it's just like it just ceased to exist. Like,
We lack spirituality.
yeah,
We need to fix that. You should take acid with me.
no, I'm good. Although,
Yeah, you're 21 now. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, you can legally take LSD once you're 21.
oh yeah, definitely. No, I think that I don't know, because there's so many different things that people can think like this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is what I believe is gonna happen. It's just kind of one of those like there's so many different things people think are
Yeah, which one's the right one?
a possibility. Yeah, exactly. That's how I am with like religion and stuff too. It's like there's so many. How do you know which ones? Like, is there just one correct religion or
Yeah. It's the
Correct,
religion
yeah.
that you're supposed to. Yeah. The correct religion is the one whichever you're already following. The other ones are, just
they exist, but
they're
they aren't
false. They're false. They
Yeah.
missed the mark. They got the wrong god.
or or is it all just like one big fairy tale? Like,
I think it's interesting. It could be narcissistic. I mean, typically, I don't people think of like God as human or humanoid. Like Jesus Christ, obviously, he was a human. God
I
himself.
don't think God is seen as human. I guess some people do, but
It's probably more
he's
comforting.
more
comforting to think of him as a human as opposed to like
I think
biblical
it's always been just kind of like an entity
lore.
that
Yeah,
created Jesus.
lore accurate angels.
Do you think it's more comforting to think of like the religion, like biblical God, you know, some sort of entity watching over us, or like a scientific belief of, you know, there's multiple different universes or different, you know, routes or existences of yourself?
Feel like that just makes me like spiral more, like thinking like the scientific way. That I'd rather it be like spiritual, religious type
That's boring.
stuff.
This is what I want to see when I die.
Whoa, what was that? Someone put the Burger King hat guy and someone got rid of that.
It wasn't me. I don't know. 'Cause I feel like I know, isn't the prophet? Isn't he just a guy? Now we're gonna get fucking killed. But isn't he just a guy? Isn't the idea that like he looks human or he was human? Didn't South Park
I
have
have
an
no
episode
idea.
about like you can't show the face of the Prophet Muhammad? So let me Google image this guy. Show me.
What if the only real religion was that one cult? They killed themselves? They went to the
Heaven's
mothership?
Gate? Heaven's Gate?
Yeah,
No,
Heaven's
they-
Gate. We all missed the ship.
Then they're fucking lucky, and the rest of us are just wondering what the fuck is the answer, and they already got it. That guy has a big fucking forehead.
Is the
I'm
answer
gonna-
to life death?
Yeah, it's you get one
sad.
and then the other,
What is life without death?
just longer life.
Jesus, but awesome.
I mean, yeah, that's everything organic. I mean, aside, what isn't the exception jellyfish? Isn't that like always the go-to? Like they don't, or their biological clock is a lot greater than ours. You know what? Let me look it up. Because if jellyfish live forever, then eventually we'll CRISPR our ways into being like jellyfish and just live forever. Okay. All right. However, the hydrozoan species Turritopus dorni, also known as the immortal jellyfish, has the ability to reverse its life cycle. When the Medusa dies, it sinks to the ocean floor and begins to decay. Its cells re-aggregate into polyops. New jellyfish emerge from the polyops, skipping to an earlier life stage and beginning again. So you die, your body decomposes, but the cells reform. That'd be so weird. Like on a human scale, you shoot some guy, fucking 9 months later, his body's rotting away, but then there's just a little bit left, and then a fucking baby comes out of that.
It's like just slow Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Deadpool, but slower.
That could be humans. All right, give us a couple. That's why I want to live 1,000 years. I could possibly see that shit, and then I just would have the choice. I mean, how do you end that though? I mean, I feel like I guess you'd have to go to space. You just or just burn everything because you need at least something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool. Okay, Hunter. Or Harley.
Stop.
Uh,
You drink Reds, I don't. All right, so that's.
It's good. Whatever.
I'm sure it is.
I'm trying to defend myself deep. No, I think I don't know what to think. I'm just it's fun to think, but it's also fun just to not think and just enjoy whatever the fuck this is.
That's what I do.
I know.
Living. Okay, so essentially that's just like a backwards way of saying just live in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, you can think and ponder, but you're not going to get anywhere. And people that dedicate their whole life, they have ideas, but they're not really anywhere. So
Yeah.
why play the Fruit Loop of what the fuck is life and just play, let me make money and enjoy this Fruit Loop.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll never get answers, so why question?
Yeah, you'll never get answers, so just make money.
It's like, yeah, those people there's like a guy who dedicated his life to living. Like he's not actually enjoying his life. I mean, he says he does. What's the point of like he's constantly getting tested and like if like there's like one of his body parts has signs of aging, he'll like do research and he has like a team of doctors that'll like try and de-age it or whatever the fuck that means.
That doesn't. Okay. I can't. I hope I will outlive this guy.
I mean, a lot of it is pseudoscience and it's just random shit. But I mean, it's interesting to dedicate your whole life to live. Like, what kind of life is that? I mean, I guess you're kind of maybe it's like good research for other people, assuming it's not all like pseudoscience. But I mean, it's.
I think anything's possible. We have one biological creature that's capable of restarting its own life. I don't know how, like, well, I guess animals are just born with instinct. Instinct transfers over.
Well, we have instinct. So, we're animals.
Yeah, your instinct would be transferred over. So you, as you are, you'd still die, I'd imagine. But
okay, so here's an interesting one, right? So, like, do animals have souls like we do? Like, as complicated and
yeah, Ferris has a soul. She's too cute. She's too much of a cunt not to have a soul.
So what about like all these chickens that we kill for food? Like I'll just imagine you reincarnate and you're like, all right,
I'm a chicken.
Yeah. You're like,
yeah,
you're a male chicken in an egg producing plant, and you just get shredded immediately.
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't want to reincarnate as a chicken. I would love to be a cat or a dog. Or a bird.
But what if nobody wants to be it, but they still have souls? Then like somebody has to fill that role. What if it's just like a you go you go into the lobby right after you
how you were in your previous life.
So all right, well that's a different belief. But what if you go into a lobby, right? And it's just like a poker game, and whoever wins the pot, they get the best life.
I need to
Real
start.
quick, I gotta go, but thank you for having me, guys. You guys are.
Yeah,
It's
of
a good
course.
podcast. I gotta finish this topic, but my cat shit blood.
All right. Yeah.
Alright.
So,
Yeah. You have a good
bye.
night.
Yeah,
Thanks.
finally. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. He had a couple of interesting moments. We'll get him on when he has more time. But
Yeah.
yeah. If you win the fucking roulette table in the afterlife, you can choose. Or you can just get unlucky and
What if it's like it's a mystery bag? Like
it's a fucking loot box.
yeah.
It's just Mr. Beast up there. Would you rather take the bag, or would you rather be a monkey?
I'd fucking kill myself if I died and became my arbiter of what my next life is.
What's in the
Fucking-
mystery box? Oh,
You're
it's a laboratory rat. You get to get injected with arsenic while they're testing on you.
I couldn't do that. I would try and communicate, and I'd be freaking the fuck out every fucking second. Maybe that's what schizo animals are. They're just people that are just refusing to accept the situation.
That's a
They're
lot of
still-
people.
Yeah, they're not forgetting their past life, and they're not embracing.
But
So
okay,
not-
so your idea of like souls that we just have an amount of souls and they're not like ever created. And what about like overpopulation or animals that are, constantly being created? Because we've increased population by a lot, compared to, like
well, the souls are still in queue.
okay,
just-
so that's what I was thinking. Are they still in queue? So like what kind of afterlife is that? We just go to queue right afterwards?
Fuck. Maybe you're just in a void up until your ticket's drawn and you're pulled back in. Or maybe that's where the whole death is. It's literal nothing.
That yeah,
Because
you die,
you
you go to the DMV, and
don't
you're
have-
waiting for your number to get called.
You don't have senses to experience anything because you need a physical. How we understand it, you need a physical body,
Yeah.
physical being in order to sense things. So without senses, you're just life before death, whatever the fuck that is, and then your ticket's pulled, and then you're just back in. But you don't retain memory because
Yeah, it's like that Beetlejuice thing. The there's a
Yeah.
GIF in the Discord.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
perfect.
I guess that I don't know. That means that that would have to mean that a soul is a tangible thing. Well, I guess at like whatever fucking quantum level you shrink it down to, it's a tangible thing. It's a tangible thing. But I still think the soul is just a byproduct of consciousness, which means But I don't know. Maybe
Which
yeah,
means
that's why-
we're back to square one.
That's why physics is interesting because it can also kind of answer. Maybe it can answer philosophy better than any philosopher ever did.
Yeah.
Science.
Science.
Ichigo. Yeah. Maybe the answer to life is zinc.
What if
This-
life was like fucking Vampire Slayer?
What would
Uh,
that be like? They're vampires.
Zinc.
Correct. Again.
Can you get down, please? I don't trust you up here.
All right. Well, I mean, I think it was pretty good. I think I think it was a pretty interesting conversation.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think
yeah. Talk about death. Talk about life. What's it like to be born? Do you remember that?
no.
I
Unless
feel
anyone has anything else for us to talk about, I think that's
I
that's
think
the
a wrap.
podcast. That's a wrap.
that's it. It's over. It's Jover. Vote blue, no matter who.
Vote red, or you'll be dead.
I'll get a megaphone. I'll do the vote blue. You get the other megaphone. You start doing that in response. It'll be good.
Yeah. That was it.
Alright. Oh,
Thank
it's
you
over
guys
now.
for watching. We'll be back with another one. Hey, that's a sacred one. Do not use
Okay.
that when it's not supposed to be used.
Oh,
O P
P.
P O P P O
vote blue, no
P, P,
matter who.
O
Vote
P,
blue.
Vote red or you'll be dead. Vote red or you'll be dead.
O P P.
Wait, when is I don't like how my fucking calendar is in Japanese. I don't
I
know how
don't
to
either.
fix that. Okay. November 5th, that's election day. Okay, so Sunday the 3rd, November, that will be our Ultimate Politic podcast.
Wouldn't it be the second?
Yep, the 2nd of November, that'll be the Ultimate Politic podcast.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I guess we already have the date for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's gonna be nothing else on my mind.
Political.
It's gonna be too fun to not talk about.